Good afternoon, people. How are we all doing? I'm alright, hopefully you're alright. Thanks for the subscribes. It's crazy, I posted like 3 videos and we're already nearly at 100 subscribers, so I appreciate that. And I thought I'd talk about, because most of you that follow me are probably new riders, because I'm a new rider and that's kind of the content I'm posting. I wanted to talk about the Mod 1 and Mod 2 and how I passed my bike test first time with confidence and with ease. Like, I knew I was going to pass, and I was confident in saying that before I did it. And the reasons for that, I'm going to explain. So Mod 1, why was I so confident about Mod 1? Well, obviously, I did a direct access and I've opted for the most amount of lessons you can get. So I went for like the, 5 lessons, and they're like 4 hours each. So they were big, long lessons. So that was obviously the reason it gave me a lot of confidence, because we did the practicing, we did the training in the test grounds. So I was more than ready, but not just leaving it there like everyone else did and then rocking up to the test a week later without being on a bike, or even between lessons and not being on a bike. I took it upon myself to go on my mountain bike, because if I didn't have a 125, so what I did was go on my mountain bike and I did little tiny U-turns in my driveway and little tiny maneuvers. Yes, it's not the same weight and you can't really replicate it, but you kind of can, because it is a similar positioning. And if you think like it's a motorbike and act like it's a motorbike, you can kind of get that rhythm in like that muscle memory in your body. That's what we're going for, to make it seem like second nature. So I would just literally I'd wait for everyone to go to work so then no one thought I was a weirdo, and I'd just go into the driveway and do like these tiny little U-turns, turning my head like I would on my bike, and just like making it even harder for myself to do, because I knew, if I can do it on this, obviously it's a lot easier, it's a lot lighter, but if I can do it tiny tight on this, it will give myself a little bit more room and a little bit more confidence doing it on a bike, because I've got even more room. Because if you think about it, the U-turn space is massive, and the U-turn's the most scariest bit, I think, of the Mod 1. Everyone dreads the U-turn, and it is huge. You think about it, I was making myself do U-turns in these tiny little positions, and obviously if you've got a 125, then I think you should do that as well. You should find an even smaller U-turn and try practice doing these tiny U-turns, so then when you get to the test, you're going to be surprised, because it is a lot bigger. Luckily for us, my test center, they actually is this guy going to pull out? My test center, they actually made the U-turn size smaller, so we didn't even know until we got there, and we were like, oh, it's a lot bigger. He was like, yeah, we made it smaller in the training for on purpose. So it's just it's a dream. So yeah, Mod 1 is just the U-turn. So you're going to go out on your 125 for an hour a day. You have to do it every day. Otherwise, well, I mean, you could pass without it, but if you want to secure the confidence in the fact you're going to pass, do that shit every day. Absolutely every day, no matter the weather. I was out practicing my Mod 1, and obviously I was watching YouTube videos on like maneuvers, but don't watch too many, because if you watch some, they'll try to teach you different ways of doing it, and then you'll just confuse yourself. So just find a way that works for you and practice that every day, either on your 125 or your mountain bike. So I did that. I did my Mod 1, passed. The only fault I had was, what was my fault? I think I checked, but I could have checked a bit more on my lifesaver. Like, it wasn't the most dramatic lifesaver in the world. That was my only fault. Other than that, sweet pass. From there, we got to the Mod 2, and to be honest, this was even more relaxing. I wasn't even as nervous as the Mod 1, because the Mod 1, you knock one cone over, you put your foot down, that's it, fail. Whereas the Mod 2, you've got like 7 opportunities to mess up and still not fail. Obviously, unless you like cut someone up or make someone break, then that's a serious. But other than that, you've got so many opportunities to like fuck the test up and still carry on and still pass. So what I did for the Mod 2 was definitely go out and practice the test routes. So I didn't have a 125 like I've already explained. So what did I do? I got in my car and I went to the test center, and each day I knew there was like 3 main routes. So I would go and choose a route, and I would go do that route. I'd go back to the test center, and then I'd do that route again, but with some different roads in there. And I would do all my lifesavers inside my car like I would on the bike. I would look, indicate, position, and I'd talk myself through it the whole time in my car, and practice again every single day for about an hour to 2 hours in the car. And I was like, yep, I know these, because the last thing you want is to think about what test routes you're going on and be like, oh, I don't know this road or how this roundabout works. I'd been through those box junctions and those roundabouts hundreds of times. So when I got to it, I was like, yeah, this is easy, whatever. I've been here a million times before, all right? So just like the Mod 1, you're going to practice every day in your car, on your motorbike, or if you don't have any of them, get on your mountain bike, and you're going to be biking around those test routes, all right? Get over it. You need that practice. You want to get on those roads as much as possible. from there, one thing that helped me on the test the most, actually no, I'll leave that till last. So as long as along with the practice, if I can get my words out, I also watched YouTube videos. So you can either find someone in your area that actually does YouTube videos already on your test routes, which I luckily found, but if not, just watch Mod 2 tests on YouTube. You can do this for the Mod 1 as well, but I didn't really do that. Find people's tests that have been recorded, watch the ones that they've passed on, and also watch the ones that they have failed on, because you actually learn a lot more from the videos of people failing their Mod 2 than you will of them passing it, because you need to see their mistakes and be like, right, okay, they did that, they made a mistake, that's why they failed, I'll make sure not to do that. Do you know what I mean? And you can take notes of those little slip-ups that someone else made so you don't make it yourself. So 100% get on YouTube and go find some videos in your area or just anywhere. I just watch those things and pick it apart, take notes, like actually take notes, because it stays in your head, and then when you go out on your test or your practice test in your car or on your bike, you can think of those things in your head and make sure you do them. All right, so that is the second one. The last one was, fuck, I forgot. Oh yeah, the last one was actually on your test, how to stay calm, because obviously that's the most nerve-wracking thing. I've been driving for 4 years, but I was still nervous, and I was like, why am I nervous? I literally drive every day on these roads. I was most nervous about being in the wrong lane. I'm always in the wrong lane. If you've seen my other video, I cut across roundabouts all the time because I'm always in the wrong lane, all right? So that's what I was most worried about. But what I kept saying to myself, what I kept doing was speaking to myself. So I was on the test and I was like, right, so like, let me do an example right now. So right, 50 miles an hour, mirror checks, need to slow down, match your speed to 50. Okay, I'm going along here, nice. There's a junction there, let me pull out to the right a little bit, a little lifesaver over here, just in case anyone pulls out. Okay, there we go. I can speed up a little bit now because the speed limit's changed. You know what I mean? I'm talking myself through every single move, and you sound stupid in your head, but what it does is makes you concentrate on what you're saying. So like right now, lorry, this could come over. Okay, I'm going to move over a little bit over here, make sure I check my mirrors, It's been about 10 seconds, let me check my mirrors again, I'm speaking to myself, and because I'm speaking to myself, I'm not thinking about, oh my god, I'm on a test, oh my god, he's behind me, he's really close behind me, what's he doing, I hope I do this right. Do you know what I mean? I'm not thinking about that because I'm speaking to myself like I'm a robot. I just went into robot mode, and I just threw all other thoughts out the window. The only words that came out of my mouth or that entered my head was, right, okay, there's a car there, right, there's a speed camera, the speeds change up here in a second, so I'm going to check my mirrors, I'm going to start slowing down, downshift, all of that sort of stuff, the entire test, and looking up the road, so that guy's braking, okay, he's doing this could possibly happen, because I'm saying situations, so then if they do happen, I've been speaking to myself, and I'm already in that zone where I'm ready to react to it, because I've already had that conversation literally in my helmet about what could possibly happen and what I'm going to do right now, and it just helps so much to calm the nerves and to not even think that you're on a test. I had to remind myself, I was like, oh wait, shit, I'm actually on a fucking test, and it was like 20 minutes in, and I was like, oh, we're nearly done, like we're just going back home. So I was like, okay, wait, let me concentrate, let me get back into this. So I was like, right, okay, 30 miles an hour, okay, do my indicator, lifesaver, now move over. It's the best thing. So that is the secret hack to getting rid of nerves. You can be nervous before you get on the bike, but as soon as you put that helmet on, completely robot mode, don't even think, and just talk yourself as if you were an examiner teaching someone else, and you're saying every single little detail to the upshift, to the indicator, everything to keep your brain occupied so you don't get nervous. All right, that's what I did. Obviously that doesn't work for everyone. Some people are just confident and don't even give a fuck and can literally just have a good old time without doing any of that stuff. But for me, I got nervous, I didn't want to get out of my own head, so I just countered that by being in my own head but talking about the right stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I passed, and I got my Mod 2, passed with one fault, which was being too quick on like slow roundabouts. He was like, slow moving traffic and like slow turns around corners and stuff. He said, you're just going a bit quick. He said, which is fine, because obviously you're confident on the bike, but he said, just slow it down a bit. And I was like, all right, cool. And that was it. That was literally it. Oh, no, that's a lie. There was one. I'd already turned as I was doing my lifesaver. So that was my other one. Sorry, I lied. Yeah, that was my other one. I turned and did the lifesaver at the same time instead of doing my lifesaver first and then turning. But yeah, the main thing is just talking to yourself through that test. And that'll be that. It's literally up to you whether you're going to pass or not. Whether you if you over prepare, you guarantee yourself good results. Do you know what I mean? I've always done that my whole life with anything. I put way too much preparation into it to guarantee myself a good result. I never leave anything up to chance, or oh, I hope I pass. No, I'm gonna pass. That's what I say to myself all week. I am going to pass. There's no reason for me to pass. I mean, there's no reason for me to fail because I'm good enough to pass. The only reason, like, I would fail is if I fuck something up. So you have to be best of both worlds. You need to be like overconfident and slightly delusional to be like, yeah, I'm fucking sick, I'm gonna pass this. But then you have to be humble enough to be like, no, I could fail this, so I need to make sure I'm concentrating and I do the right stuff to actually make sure I get through these tests. But at the end of the day, the instructors want you to pass. They're so chill. They do not give a fuck. You get to the test and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't that big a deal because they really don't care. They don't. They want you to pass. They're like, come on then, mate. My Mod 1 instructor was so nice. He was like, yeah, go on then. I was like, oh, it's sick. Doesn't even feel like you're on a test. You're just with someone else showing the skills that you've learned in your training. So hopefully that helps someone. That's how I passed my Mod 1, Mod 2 first time with confidence. And yeah, you can do the same. So take all those little notes and hopefully you pass your Mod 1 and your Mod 2, and then you get a massive fat 600 sport bike like your boy. Alright, I'll see you later.